Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a couple days into November here, so I'm a couple days late on the video, but October has come and gone and we are wrapping up 2024. So a lot of stuff going on right now. The real estate stuff, being a realtor, is going good. I have not made any sales yet, unfortunately, but have maybe 5 or 6 things in the works right now. No listings, but a lot of potential buyers and one that could be a very, very large potential buyer, maybe a couple $1 million worth of listings. So exciting there. Still haven't gotten the 14-ish $1,000 from the a resource, natural resources for killing invasive species. And so that should come sometime in November. We should wrap up that work in the next week or so and then get that money towards the end of November. So all of that will go towards house number 7 and just keep chipping away at that. But I have actually jumped ahead. So November, I get paid 3 times as well as my wife. And so I've actually already pre-populated that because we got paid yesterday. So for October, standard paychecks for me, 13,400 over the 2 paychecks. I paid a little under 3,000 in taxes. So you're seeing the taxes change for me. It's actually went down about 200-ish dollars. That is because when you make over 170 something thousand, you max out the Social Security taxes that are taken from you, and so it's roughly like 10,200-ish dollars, I believe, that you'll pay in Social Security taxes. Once you hit that cap, they stop taking Social Security from you. However, Medicare, I believe, goes up somewhere in the 180,000s, and so that's why the taxes are seeming a little bit weird. But this happens each year for me. Once I cross that 170 mark, I've maxed out the Social Security taxes, and then so my take-home pay is a little bit higher for like the last 5 or 6 paychecks of the year. So about 3,000 in taxes. I'm still just putting the minimum amount in my 401k since we're working off house number 7, and then 633 in the HSA, so maxing that out each year, and then 345 in insurance. Take home pay was 8,000, almost 700. For my wife, she actually got a small pay bump for her adjunct teaching, and so she's at 1163 this month, 200 in taxes. Take home pay was 945. Both tenants are doing good. I really wish I had more rental properties. These are doing so well. Um, and there, it is interesting on the topic of rental properties. So now that I'm a real estate agent, just the visibility to properties that are out there. I talked with somebody recently that had 30 something properties, all in the area that I work in and live in, and they are looking to sell the properties. They want a few $1 million, but just the visibility of seeing all these people and clients that are wanting to get rid of some of their properties and sell them. So a lot more potential, a lot more access to better deals out there. So we'll see. I'm going to run some numbers and see if that's a potential, but there's just again a lot more visibility to houses that are at a cheaper price. So before they even come on the public market. So 2,525 for the 2 rental properties. They're both doing good. They are both renewing their leases. One has already renewed for the next year, and the other one I highly suspect that they will renew here in the next couple months. So, and they will have lived there for 5 years. No other income. Like I said earlier, we'll probably get the 14,000 something dollars next month for the invasive species work. I am pretty much done with firewood, so I've gotten maybe 7 full cords cut and split in season. So sometime in December or January, I'll start to sell that, which will be a couple $1,000s. But honestly, with the firewood, I don't know if anybody else does that. It is a lot of work for not a lot of money. So you have to find the wood, live on a place that has either firewood or buy the firewood from someone else, split it, stack it for a year, let it dry and season it, load it in your truck if you have a truck, deliver it. So if you have all that stuff, it may be halfway decent, but it is a lot of physical work for just not much money, honestly. And my area, they sell a third of a cord for maybe $60, and I'm charging $100. But there are some places here in the United States where you can charge $200 for a third of a cord, and that would be a lot better, I feel like. So mine takes a little while to sell because we price it so high. But yeah, again, I've probably worked one day a week for 4 hours a day for the full year to get 7 full cords cut and split. So all that for $2,000. So my time would probably be spent better somewhere else, but hey, I like to do it. So total gross income for the month is 17,092. And then take home pay was 12,160. And then again, I've already pre-populated November. We got paid on November 1st, and I actually cheated a little bit this month because I got paid on November 1st. I went ahead and put this $6,700-ish towards house number 7 to get it paid off, the house we live in. So yeah, this is the income for November. So I'm bringing home a little bit more money. Our bonus next year, the bonus that I get paid in March, last year it was about $40,000. This year for me, it's looking to be about $60,000 gross income, probably $40,000 after taxes in March of next year. So exciting stuff. That'll be good. I'll get more stock options at the place that I work as well. So that will probably be 25,000 in March as well. So a lot of big bonuses coming up in the next 6 months or so. But jumping into the net worth, so properties, they don't really change that much. I always keep an eye on the vehicles. Vehicles have really not moved in value at all. They've shifted around a little bit, maybe with the Honda Fit and the Honda Civic, but really not that much. So houses, they're just going up 2% in value. I feel like they're pretty close. I'm watching the housing market a lot closer now, and now that I have access to like the public real estate, like things other than Zillow and Realtor and Homes.com, they pull from a database that all um, realtors use across the nation, and so now that I have access to that, I can export things to Excel and build Excel templates and models. And so I can calculate things like absorption rate, like is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? So right now where I live, it's just barely a seller's market, but things are definitely coming down from COVID a lot. It's probably half of the market is what it was in COVID, mainly because of interest rates. But things are really slowing down here. I feel like housing prices are they're not as uh, increasing as much as they were, I would say, a year ago, 2 years ago. They're not quite coming down yet, but houses are sitting on the market a lot longer than what they were a year ago. So all of ours are probably priced about right. 207 is maybe a little cheap for a house 5. 191 is definitely cheap. It's probably actually 205. So being conservative there, the land, these are so hard. So again, we're on 66 acres out here. If I value this is about $6,000 an acre for 66 acres. I have not seen land that cheap out here in since I purchased this. I will actually show a place that's 44 acres, and they have it priced at 8,500 an acre, and it is a lot worse land than what we live on right now. So somewhere around the 400s, maybe 450s. It's very hard to tell. And the bigger the plot of land, usually the less per acre that people will charge. So it's at 402 right now, conservatively. House number 8's at 770, so that's probably pretty accurate as well. Vehicles haven't changed. Miscellaneous hasn't changed either. That's just mowers, trailers, side by side, stuff like that. Investments. This was an interesting month this month. I don't make a YouTube video more than once a month for the net worth update. However, I do update this spreadsheet maybe on the 15th, just whenever I get time to see how we're doing. So when I did it on the 15th, the market was probably at the all-time high. I think the S&P was at 5,900, 5,880, somewhere in there. And so we were at 608,000. And then in the past couple weeks, things have just kind of trickled down almost to where they were at the end of September, actually. So because we're holding different positions in each one of these accounts, some of them have gained in value and then some of them have lost value. So for the HSA account, it pretty much stayed flat. If you remember from the income slide here, I put $600-ish in the HSA this month, and so that's about how much it's up actually, and that's about what the market has done as well. So it seems like the HSAs are following the market pretty closely. For my 401k, the vast majority, probably 190,000 of this, is in money markets right now, just waiting for something to buy. seeing what the market's going to do. And so that is why this is up. It makes maybe $1,000 a month in just dividends each month right now, and so that's why it's up 3,000. And then I've contributed $800 or $900 this month and got the employer match, so that would be 16 or 1,700 of that. So basically, all of this is mainly from my contributions. For my wife's, she is not contributing to her 403b or 457b right now, and so it is down just a little bit. Hers is heavy in the S&P 500, probably 90-ish% in the S&P 500 index right now. So that is why hers is just down a little bit, and she's not contributing to it. But here soon, she should probably get a dividend, I would say. Once a quarter, she gets dividends from the S&P. But so overall, investments up about $3,000, definitely slowing down. A lot of uncertainty right now with the election, with interest rates, with a whole bunch of stuff. But I pretty much ignore all of that and just focus on what I can focus on, what's in within my control to change or to manage. So 602,000. So exciting that we passed the 600,000 milestone. um, I just wish I could do something with this. And my goodness, now that I'm a real estate agent, just having so many ideas of, like, should I pull out a home equity line of credit to buy houses, and minor flips and put them right back and save on the commission? I would have an advantage that way. I could do a margin loan from this 401k, the $600,000, and buy real estate with that. Again, not long term, but just floating some ideas around like that. But I'm kind of in the phase where I'm paying off debt right now, but at the same time, I'm thinking, is it worth taking one step back? Maybe I take a 20 or 30,000 margin loan, I buy a house, I flip it in 30, 60 days, put it right back on the market as a real estate agent, avoid most of the commissions there, and then just pay the margin loan back, make the 30 or 40,000 for the flip, and then keep doing that over and over. So that would move things up, move the timeline up, but it was also be some temporary, like short-term debt that would be fairly safe, I would say. Um, it, since some of mine is in money markets, like my 401k, I could probably do a margin loan from that and then not have the risk of market fluctuation and volatility. And so because it's a money market, it's just going to stay the exact same price. And so I could pretty much control getting margin called. And I've never done margin before. So I don't know, food for thought, things I am entertaining right now, but haven't done anything specifically. There are quite a few houses in my area that are decent deals. They wouldn't meet my 15% cash on cash return threshold for a rental property, but they do probably have 50 or $60,000 in equity, in value proposition if I purchase them at a little bit of a cheaper price. But the comps in the neighborhood justify the price that they're at. So anyway, we'll move forward here. Debts, nothing exciting. I paid minimum payments on these three here: house 5, 7, and land number 8. Huge chunk this month towards house number 8, mainly because I've already put the money from November 1st towards the mortgage here in October. So again, I just cheated a little bit. The earlier I make the payments, the less you get charged interest on a daily basis. So if you make a payment today instead of on November 30th, you'll avoid 28 days of interest payments on your debt balance. So that's how that works, and so that's why I put the $6,700 towards it this month a little bit early. So overall, I mean, we almost paid off $10,000 in debt this month. So things are pretty good. If I calculate our overall, if I can, I hate doing quick math here. So we have $109,000 in vehicles. So we have about 1.57 million in real estate right now, and we owe about 774. So we're a little under 50% debt to equity ratio on all of these places. So in a pretty good standpoint, I would say, in terms of debt. So we could, if we wanted to, we could cash out refinance probably 5 or 600,000, but probably won't do that since interest rates are so high right now. Checkings, no changes, $40,000. Rental checkings account, no major stuff this month. I had a couple minor things. This year has been really well for me being able to fix a lot of the issues that come up. I can't remember if this whole entire year, if I have hired anybody to do anything yet. Things will pop up, but then I have been able to basically take care of everything myself. It'll be something like I don't know, the toilet's running once in a while, and so I'm able to wait like until the weekend, go over there on the weekend, adjust the stuff in the back of the toilet, and fix it myself. So just things like that. Landscaping, that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm cleaning out gutters, getting ready for the winter here. But so rentals did well, saved about $700-ish in the rental checkings account. So this is the highest it's ever been. Hopefully we can get that to 30,000 here in the next few months. But total cash 66,000, just up over last month. So total net worth for the month, just under 600,000. We're at $1,575,316. So I think if I look at my pace, I love looking at this. So we're October right now. So if I go back to October of last year, we were at 1,177,000, and right now we're at 1,575,000. So we've almost saved $400,000 on our net worth in the last 12 months. And again, it's crazy for me to think about. I think it took us 4 years to save the first 100,000, and it took 8 years to make the first million. And then now we're on pace. It should take us 2.5 years to make the next million, from 1 million to 2 million. So it goes to show, once you have your foundation built, things happen so much faster. Within 3 months, we're making 100, maybe 4 months, we're making 100,000 on our net worth. My income helps a lot with that, but a lot of this is stocks too. If you look, we're at 602 right now, and then last October we were at 397. Oops, sorry, 381. The market was down last October, I remember. But within a year, we've put in $220,000 just in our investments, because mainly the market's up right now. It was down about a year ago to its low. So yeah, just exciting stuff. So I would guess right now, the way it's looking, probably the end of 2025, we should cross that $2 million mark. Yeah, so well, and that does not include anything that I make as a real estate agent either. So, and I'm close on a lot of stuff, a lot of things like in the works right now. I will say, being a real estate agent though, it's a tough business. Usually, your first couple years as a full-time real estate agent, you might make 10,000, maybe 15,000. If you can do like two transactions your first year, that's above average. If you can do four transactions or six transactions your second year, that's still above average. So most real estate agents will quit after 2 years. Thankfully, I'm in a good spot where I have standard W-2 income that's consistent. But the market that I work in, um, there are 550 real estate agents for a population of about 50,000 people. And so about 1 in 1,000 people are real estate agents. Maybe 20 of them will make over 200,000, like gross income for the year. Then they have all their fees and expenses for managing brokerages, and so there are maybe, I don't think there. Oh, I know, I looked just a few minutes ago. There are no realtors in my area that make seven figures a year. Even the best one, which is somewhat famous in my area, um, makes about 800,000 a year, and he's the number one agent in our market. And so the top five people probably do 60% of the business, and then the other 545 people do the other 60% of the business. And so it's the Pareto principle, like definitely at work, where the people that have been in the business the longest are getting all of the clients, most of the commission, and then everybody else is kind of just straggling behind them. And so with those 545 people, they have massive turnover. So usually people will make it about 2 years, just because it's hard to make a living. There's maybe 20 people that make over 100,000 a year, and that's before all of their expenses. That's before they pay their brokerages, their licensing fees, their education fees, the gas that it takes to go and look at some of these places. Our market's maybe an hour in all directions, and we're right smack dab in the center. And so we can go an hour north or an hour south. And so if you live an hour to the north and you have to show a property 2 hours to the south, that day you'll have to drive 4 hours, assuming you only have one showing. And I mean, sometimes the houses are maybe 100,000 down there, 120,000, and you might make only $1,000 in commission. So by the time you spend your time, you pay $300 for someone to take pictures. You market the property, you pay for gas, wear and tear on your vehicle, all that stuff. You may even lose money for selling somebody's house, which is crazy to think about. But just some perspective I didn't have a couple months ago, being a real estate agent, but I've done maybe 5 or 6 open houses at this point. Some are great. Some I might have 14, 15 people that will stop by. Other ones I might have nobody show up, and we'll do them on a Saturday or a Sunday. um, so yeah, it depends. You have to just focus on the long term game, and not get caught up on the short term stuff. But overall, I'm going to jump back to it here. So our net worth is 1,575,000 right now, and the main goal is to pay off house number 8. I think I was saying house number 7 earlier. I meant house number 8. Um, that is the main goal, to get that knocked out and reduce the risk that we have with that monthly payment, which is like $2,800 a month for us. The second goal is to have $4 million saved up by the time that we are 40 years old. We're way ahead of that. I honestly, at the pace that we're going, $400,000 a year, it should take us about 7 years. So I think we'll be 37 probably by the time that we hit 4 million, assuming it doesn't, pick up from what we're doing right now, which actually it should. The more that we get our foundation built for investments. So right now, if we were going to have $4 million by 40 years old, we are $475,000 ahead of that goal of having 4 million by 40. So we slipped a little bit compared to last month, but we've been hovering around this 470,000 mark for the last like 4 months, 5 months or so. So overall, things are good. Again, net worth is sitting at 1,570 something thousand dollars. So haven't had a bad month in a while. The stock market has not went down for a while either. Income is looking good. I am now a remote employee, so I'm not having to commute an hour to work and back every day. So that part's nice. I can kind of shift my focus on working in pharmaceuticals, and then shift back to real estate just throughout the day. So yeah, things are going good. So thank you all for tuning into the video. Last month's, next month's videos are on your screen now. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, things that you'd like to see in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everybody, and we will see you in the next video.